Hi guys! Today we are going to do some back stretching. My favorite, as you guys know, I am particularly focused on recovering my back flexibility right now. So I'm going to give you guys some tips on how you can improve your back flexibility no matter what your level is. Now, a lot of the exercises that I'm going to show you today may appear to be very difficult, but they are meant to be progressions. So the first day you might start out by doing just the bridge or wheel pose. And then in a month, maybe you can go on your elbows. You know your limits better than anyone, right? With that in mind, you do have to remember that it's gonna take longer, but the amount of work that you put in will show. So that doesn't mean you have to stretch for hours, once a week. That's not true. That's not how it works. It's more about doing a little bit every single day. You don't necessarily have to be young to improve your flexibility. You can get more flexible at any age. Obviously, it's much easier when you're younger, but that doesn't mean that you should be discouraged from doing it because you're older. Age is just a number. You can get more flexible at any time in your life. The progressions in the video will show you how to improve, how to get better. Because a lot of times when people are stretching at home, they just don't know how to stretch. They don't know how to get more flexible. They just see all these people on social media, on YouTube that are magically doing all these poses and they don't know how they got there. They got there by doing little simple exercises that we can all do. You're gonna bring your legs right in front of you. Flex your toes. And just reach forward. See if you can reach forward. Walking your hands to your toes. Rock back and forward. Now if you can't reach your toes, you're gonna use an elastic band or a towel, whatever you have available to you. And you're gonna use that to help you reach for your toes. Now if you're a little bit more on the advanced side, you're wanna grab them to the back of your heels and reach forward.
I want you to try to see if you can do your bow pose. It's okay if it's not perfect. I just want you to reach and see if you can grab your ankles. And hold it there for 1, hold it there for 2, and release. Now, as you go back on your force, make sure you're giving special attention to the spine. As you inhale, exhale, back to cobra, and breathe there. Relax. Feel the stretch on your back. Make sure you're not putting any tension on your shoulders. Go back on your force. Now the stretch might feel a little bit uncomfortable for your shoulders, but it's very beneficial to your back. Just make sure you're breathing the whole time, in and out through your nose. Now you're gonna start counting your breaths. As you inhale 1, exhale 2, inhale 1, exhale 2, inhale last time, exhale as you release, back on your forward. Now you're getting ready for some harder stretching. Wheel pose or bridge. This is one of the most beneficial poses to improve your back flexibility. If you rock back and forward, stretching out your spine, your lower back, it's giving you mobility. Make sure you feel the stretch, but at the same time, make sure you're not uncomfortable enough that you won't be able to stay there for a couple seconds. Now, as soon as you get out of that bridge, you're going to stretch the opposite way. you should feel release of the spine in your lower back. Make sure you breathe. See if you can get your knees to your ears if you can. You can put your hands behind your back if you want. And release. Right away, you're going to try for another wheel pose. Lift up. Make sure you're breathing the whole time. You should feel a little bit of a bigger stretch on the second time. You're getting more flexible every single time you do this exercise. You want to come down. Now, if bridge feels a little bit too challenging for you, you can try this exercise, which is a smaller bridge. You can put your hands behind your back if that helps you, and stretch the opposite way. Stretching your lower back, stretching your upper back, your neck, your spine. As always, feel free to put your hands behind your back if you don't feel comfortable. But always make sure to breathe. Inhale, exhale as you release. Now this time I really want you to challenge yourself and really go for your wheel pose. I want you to make sure your hands are by your shoulders as you push up, and straighten out your knees if you can. This is going to give you a little bit of a bigger stretch as you rock back and forward. Now if you want to challenge yourself, you're free to go on your elbows. This is going to give you a much bigger stretch on your lower back. You're really going to feel that stretch. This is a stretch that's going to help you get to that next level stage of chin stands. Now I want you to inhale, exhale as you calm down, and release by stretching the opposite way. Great job. We're getting ready for another wheel pose. This time really make sure your hands are right under your shoulders as you push up. And make sure you're breathing. But this time you're going to make your legs go straight. This is going to give you a much bigger stretch. And you're going to hold it there for one. As you come down to your elbows, much more difficult stretch. This time you're going to see if you can bend one knee closer to your head. Now this stretch is a little bit more advanced. Don't try it if you're not ready. This is for people who already know how to do their wheel pose and are looking for more challenging stretches. As always, know your limits and know when to stop yourself. Now as we come to the end of our stretching, I want you to inhale, exhale, and cow position. As you come down to an extended child's pose, I want you to really take this time to relax and feel how different your body feels. Do you feel more stretch, more flexible already? Great job.
Now I want you guys to tell me if the exercises helped you in any way. I had mentioned to you guys before that I was going to talk about this, so I think this is the time to do it. Basically what happened to me is I coach gymnastics. I coach competitive gymnastics for a living, and picking up something at my job, or I don't know if it was spotting, I'm constantly spotting kids, and a lot of them are often heavy, and I have to catch them. At my job, I think I was moving equipment, and I felt a pinch in my back, and I was like, oh, that hurt. But it was nothing, as a dancer, when I was a dancer, I was constantly in pain, so I never took it as like, oh, I didn't pay attention to it, which was very, very silly of me. I kept working that day. I kept spotting kids, which requires a lot of your back. You're catching kids, you're lifting them. And I went home, I was fine, you know, it wasn't like anything serious. And a problem that I have sometimes is that I'm a little bit too motivated. A lot of people sometimes have the opposite problem. They need somebody to motivate them. And I'm overly motivated, and I push myself a little too hard sometimes to the point that I can even get hurt. During a spinning class, the one that I do, there's a part of it in which you have to pick up the weights, but you're still on your bike. And I picked up the weights, and I felt a little bit strange. Like because I was already in pain with my back, not necessarily pain, but I would call it more discomfort, because I already had a discomfort. I think I had improper form, and I kept biking and biking and biking, and obviously I didn't have the best form. Then as soon as I got off the bike, I noticed that my back felt really sore. It wasn't really pain, it was more like a sore feeling. And I kept walking just fine, you know, whatever. I was like, okay, this will go away, I'm probably just tired or sore. But then the next day I went to ballet, and I couldn't like even lean forwards. It was very, very painful. When I got out of that class, I could barely walk. I ended up going to the doctor that same day, and they told me I had a muscle spasm. It wasn't anything too serious, but it was very painful because I couldn't walk for, I think, 2 days. It was very, very painful. I was pretty much laying in bed, only getting up to like use the bathroom or shower or something. And they gave me muscle relaxers, which I hated. I only took them the first day, and it was really because I was in a lot of pain the first day. Long story short, after it got better, I realized that the main reason that I had that happen to me is because I had stopped stretching as I used to. Not that stretching would have prevented necessarily the whole accident overall, but it does help the healing process of it. What I started doing is I started stretching every single day. I was trying to get back into my old shape, trying to recover my flexibility, and I can't even begin to tell you guys. The change went from 0 to 100. I immediately felt different. And I think it was during quarantine I started working out even more than usual because I had so much free time and I love working out. And I felt discomfort, not pain. I was like, okay, is it coming back? And the next day I took the day off, just like minor stretching, and that's it. You know, I could feel that stretching really makes a big difference. So whether you had this problem or a muscle spasm, or you just suffer from chronic back pains, stretching helps a lot. And I'm not telling you go crazy, go do backflips. No, I'm just try to reach for your toes. You know, do a little bit every single day, when you wake up, when you go home, before you go to sleep. I know everybody has a busy schedule, but you have to take care of your body, and stretching, whether it's yoga or you just doing it at home on your own, it comes a long way. So I hope you guys enjoy the stretches, and I'll be sharing with you guys more tips and things that I did to get back in form after my little muscle spasm.